Good morning, and thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Justin Fields and Kenny Pickett, the CFP expansion and revenue sharing, LeBron James scoring record, and make sure you guys stick around for later in the show when we'll be diving into our oddities of the day. Before we start, I'd like to ask that you guys like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Hello, Tate. How are you?
Hello, Miss Faith. How are you?
I'm good. It's Monday, but
this time it's one of those things, guys, where Faith and I normally do our subtleties on air. We ended up talking before, so It's kind of like, hey, Faith, I already know about your weekend and how it was and things. So normally we do that on air, but today we had a little extra time, so we ended up talking off air. Yes. It is a Monday. Let's keep the fingers crossed, no technical issues.
We've been doing good the past couple of Mondays, I feel like. So
99 problems, but a computer is not one. Let's go that route and let's dive into it.
Okie dokie. So the NFL had a busy weekend. The Chicago Bears.
That's their flag football team. Chicago Bears.
Yeah. So the Chicago Bears traded quarterback Justin Fields to the Steelers. And then the Steelers also traded Kenny Pickett to the Eagles after Russell Wilson's signing. But let's discuss Justin Fields first. The Bears have traded quarterback Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The teams confirmed in a statement on Saturday. The Steelers sent a 2025 sixth-round pick to the Bears that converts to a fourth-round selection if Fields plays 51% of snaps this season, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Fields, who completed his third season in Chicago in 2023, will join a quarterback room with Russell Wilson, who signed a one-year deal with the Steelers on Friday. Fields is not expected to compete with Wilson for the starting job. Instead, Fields is expected to learn from the Super Bowl winner and 9-time Pro Bowler. In a social media post Saturday, Fields thanked the Bears organization and the city of Chicago for quote, for allowing me the opportunity to be part of such a historic franchise. 2 weeks ago at the NFL Combine, Bears general manager Ryan Poles addressed the idea of a Fields trade publicly for the first time. Poles said he aimed to not leave the quarterback in limbo and hoped to do right by Fields as Chicago determined its quarterback plan for the future. Now, I know that you probably are happy with this decision, but I would love to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Starting out, I said the best place for Justin Fields to go was Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. But I also said the best place for Russell Wilson to go was Pittsburgh.
Right.
Never in my wildest dreams, but I think both of them were going to go there. Now, all of a sudden, it's okay. First off, when I saw this, I was absolutely blown away, so much so that I didn't even believe it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, they just traded for Russell Wilson. So no, they didn't do this. Mm-hmm. And so I had to check another place and then another place. And then I turned to ESPN and there it was. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what in the hell has happened? I'm like, how did this go down? Mm-hmm. Then I saw the trade, which knocked me on my butt.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, when everyone was talking about Justin Fields getting traded, initially everyone was talking about that he was going to go for a first round pick. Later, they were looking at a late first, early second round pick.
Mhm.
And as I started seeing more and more quarterbacks go off, I'm like, is he going to slide? I'm like, maybe a third, fourth round pick. But when I saw that he went for a sixth round pick, I'm like, impossible,
Mhm.
absolutely impossible. Faith, you could trade me for a sixth round pick. I think I could. You know what? I think you get a sixth round pick and a bag of Skittles, and that's a deal. I do not believe that he went for so little.
Mhm.
That just seems impossible. At that point, if the only thing I could get for Justin Field was a sixth round pick, I'm not trading him.
Mhm.
They gave him away. I just did not understand why the Bears would do that. It's obvious now that they were going to go for Caleb Williams in the draft. That's going to be the first pick in this
Mhm.
overall draft. Uh, but to it's just like completely has just been like, listen, we don't want him in the room. We don't want him on the field. We don't want him part of the team. And I know a lot of people have talked about how you can't have Justin Fields and Caleb Williams in the same on the same team. I would like to know why not. You know, both of them are young guys.
Mhm.
Both of them are vying for the future. You you have them learn from each other. I wouldn't have done this. No way would I have done this. Um, I don't understand why so many people look at it. Like I look at back that used to be the Redskins, now it's Commanders, when they
Mhm.
drafted Kirk Cousins and Robert Griffin III. And you look out how you don't know what the future may hold. And like Robert Griffin ended up getting injured and things, Kirk Cousins, they ended up using him for a while. But I don't look at having two quarterbacks that are developing and are at different points in time in their development, I think is a good thing. It makes it so that if Caleb is not ready to go, you put Justin Field out there. You give Caleb as much time as he needs to adjust to the NFL speed, adjust to the locker room, and things like that. I don't. If you're just gonna give him away for pretty much nothing, because that's the kind of way I look at it. As far as even Trey Lance went for a four. I'm just not letting him go for that.
Mhm.
So that was my first take. Then shifting the gears to the Steelers. My first reaction when I realized that it was real was because I was super happy for Russ. And I'm like, this is the perfect place for Russ. He's their quarterback. He's their quarter. He could yes, he signed for a very low amount, 1.6 million, but he can really get out there, show what he can do, and then get signed for a longer term agreement with the Steelers. I thought this was a great move for the Steelers and Russ.
Mhm.
Then once I found out about this trade, then I felt bad for Russ because I'm sorry, this is not going to end well for Russ. And here is the reason why. They've already talked about how Russ is going to be the man for this year. But they have Justin Fields as their quarterback of the future.
Mhm.
They want him to learn things like that. But it rarely ever happens that way. Russ comes in, he starts playing, Russ is doing well or he does poorly. The minute they start losing games, Faith,
Mhm.
when you have the former number one pick on your roster, what are your fans going to be like? Hey, he stinks. Put in
Yeah.
Justin Field. Put in
Yeah.
Justin Fields. The pressure from week 2 on, to get to see Justin Fields is going to be a real thing. I don't feel like Russ will ever have a chance to really showcase his skills for an entire year. I'm already predicting by mid-season, there's going to be a major, it could be way earlier than that, but by mid-season, there's going to be a quarterback controversy because the media, everyone wants this. They live for controversy. So the Steelers go on a back-to-back losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has them. Everyone is going to want put him down, bring in Justin Fields. Justin Fields can lose games just as well as Russell Wilson. Go for the young kid. Go for the young kid. There's going to be a lot of pressure to get rid of Russ and bring in a young kid. It's kind of like when New England had Cam Newton after Tom Brady left, and they brought in Mac Jones. Training camp, instantly, everyone wanted to know Mac Jones. They want to see Mac Jones. They want to see Mac Jones. There was so much controversy, so much going on. Eventually, Cam Newton was released. Mac Jones became the starter because everyone wants to see what the young guy can do. He's the new shiny toy.
Mm-hmm.
Russ is okay. You got a Honda Civic that you've been driving, but you just got delivered, your new Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're driving around. Everyone's like, dude, don't pick me up in the Civic. Pick me up in the Mercedes. Am I right? He's that young, flashy, sports car.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I see it. I don't think this is going to be a great place. And Russ, the consummate professional, he's like, let's go. That quarterback room is going to be amazing and things like that. But Russ has to know all the pressures on him now. Russ had a good year last year. People don't realize it. Look at the numbers. Russ's year was a good year. It wasn't a great year, but it was a good year. And he just ended up in a bad situation because Sean Payton really didn't want him there. That wasn't his guy. Well, guess what? It's the same situation, but the difference is Russ is only making $1.6 million. So there's no, hey, we have to pay this guy.
Mm-hmm.
With the pressure coming on, Russ could still have an even better year than he had last year and still get benched or still get released because people in Pittsburgh, people in Northeast Ohio, that's that whole area is the Pittsburgh, Cleveland area. I grew up there. They're going to be clamoring because everyone's going to want to see Justin Fields. Also, that Pittsburgh, Northeast Ohio area where that fan base is at, like I said, I grew up there. That is Ohio State country.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Fields, being an Ohio State quarterback, is absolutely loved in that area. So you have, the prodigal child coming home. Russ is not their future. What do you see when Russ starts losing the game? Pittsburgh's not good enough to go, 13-4 or something like that. Pittsburgh's going to lose games. Mm-hmm. Even with Russ, they're a 7 to 10 win team, meaning there's too many losses in there. They're going to want Russ out. The fans, the media are going to want Justin Fields in. It's a bad place for Russ right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that, especially when you look at the area? And like I said, I grew up there, born and raised in Northeast Ohio, on the border with Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy. There's pretty much two types of fans, either the Browns fans or either the Steelers fans, but they're all Ohio State fans. And Justin Fields is an Ohio State quarterback who is loved. Mm-hmm. Who are you going to want to see?
So essentially, like, it's good for Justin Fields, but bad for Russell Wilson.
It's a really good situation for Justin Fields because right now he is brought in as the backup. You get a possible Hall of Fame guy to work with. I think that's ingenious. He can learn from Russ. He can go through an entire training camp with Russ, how Russ prepares, how he reads film, what he's doing. So he could learn from Russ. He can watch Russ. He can do pretty much, he's a more athletic Russ. And so I think that's a nice pairing. If they stuck with this plan though, of this whole year is Russ's team and we're not starting him, I think it would be absolutely ingenious.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, I'm gonna touch on this. Faith just asked me about Kenny Pickett. So she was all sneaky on this one, but I'm gonna touch on it. Real quick. It was the right move to let Kenny Pickett go. They traded Kenny Pickett away. Kenny Pickett wasn't the future there. Kenny Pickett, in my opinion, right now is a backup quarterback. Bringing Russ and Justin Fields there is a major upgrade. Getting rid of Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph kind of unclutters that quarterback room, so there's no controversy. The Pittsburgh Steelers have turned the page on this, and they are moving forward with the Russ and Justin Field era and the Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph era, which was quite disappointing, is over, and it's the right decision.
Okay.
I wrapped that bad boy up with a bow.
Okay. I was just making sure we were running out of time.
So just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I really didn't think about it like being bad for Russ until you brought it up, but I do agree that poor Russell Wilson. He can't catch a break, man.
I don't think I think it's gonna be rough on him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to Justin Fields' home area. Ohio State is loved in that Northeast Ohio, Western Pennsylvania area.
Right.
They're gonna want to see Justin Fields. The media and the fans are not gonna be like, hey, they did say this year's Russ's year. Yeah. So no matter what happens, this is Russ's year. No way they're not doing it. Absolutely not. They're gonna want Russ. Matter of fact, I think they're gonna want Justin Fields before the season even starts. Training camp.
Yeah. Preseason.
If Justin Fields comes out there, he scrambles for a big old play, throws for a touchdown, it's gonna be start him right out the gate. I think you got a quarterback controversy starting now.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens when the season starts.
There's gonna be a lot. That's gonna be a fun story in my book.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna take a quick break, guys, and when we come back, we're gonna dive back into the college football playoff drama of it all, reality TV. So stick around, guys.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some loose shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Earlier we were discussing Justin Fields being traded to the Steelers, and then we touched a little bit on Kenny Pickett, and now we're going to be diving into the college football playoffs expansion and revenue sharing. I already knew that something... I can't... Tate needs to have his Zoom chat taken away from him. I'm assuming that Tate is hungry and needs a snack. Because I just got a message that's all caps, feed me. Gosh. Anyway.
Sorry about that.
So new stuff with the college football playoff. You guys knew that it was coming. It's been something every week. Honestly, I feel like it's been every other day with the college football playoff and what's been going on lately. So the landscape of college football is undergoing a systematic shift with the recent unveiling of revenue sharing splits from the new college football playoff media contract. The distribution model reveals a significant disparity, with the Big Ten and SEC slated to receive 29% of media revenue annually, amounting to over $21 million per school. In contrast, the ACC is set to receive 17%, approximately $13 million each, followed by the Big 12 at 15%, $12 million each, and the Group of Five conferences collectively receiving 9%, which is $1.8 million per school. This revelation underscores the financial implications for individual conferences and schools, with substantial variations in revenue allocation. Moreover, it raises questions about the potential impact on competitive balance, resource allocation, and the broader sustainability of college athletics. Man, if I was the Big 12 and the Group of Five, I would not be very happy right now.
No, I would be heated.
I mean, the ACC, I'm sure, is a little upset as well, but I don't feel like they have enough room to talk because they're getting more money than the Big 12 and the Group of Five. So,
Okay, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Friday with Ice Cube and all that. Probably not in your wheelhouse.
I've heard about it, but I have not seen it, no.
But I feel like the Big Ten and the SEC is like Debo riding on that bike, and you hear the wheels squeaking, you hear the music dun 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 dun, and it's kind of like, what you got on my money? What do you got on my? You know what I mean? Because they took it all.
They sure did.
It was like, sorry, punk, give me that chain. They took everything.
Yeah. $21 million per school. How many schools are in these two conferences?
Let's see. The Big Ten has 18, and I think the SEC has 16. So they took all the money.
Jeez, please.
It works out to almost 60% of all the money goes to the SEC and the Big Ten. About 30% each, almost.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. The way this is set up, let's say the Big Ten and the ACC's like, nope, we're not playing football this year. They got guaranteed. It doesn't matter if none of their teams made the playoffs. Let's say it was a really bad year for both of them, and only the Big 12, meaning only the the SEC and the Big Ten champion got in. Let's say the ACC and the Big 12 are killing it this year. Get down to the Final Four, you got two ACC teams and 2 Big 12 teams, and the championship, it's a Big 12 championship. No one cares. 60% of that money still goes to those 2 conferences.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is, okay, this is a flat guarantee. $21 million per school for all Big Ten and SEC schools. $13 million for all ACC schools. $12 million for all Big 12 schools. And $1.8 million is divided up among the group of 5, which is way more than everyone else. There's one caveat for this. That 9%, that's the Notre Dame gets.
Yeah, I was about to ask about Notre Dame.
Okay, Notre Dame, let's say Notre Dame doesn't have a good season, then they get part of that group of 5 money. But if Notre Dame makes the playoff, they're guaranteed they get more money. So the least amount of money they would get is what the Big 12, that's the least amount they can get. So they're the only one with a special stipulation. I don't like this. Can't do anything about it. This thing is signed, sealed, and delivered. But do you notice there's something that if you listen to Faith, if you listen to me, we haven't said? There's no like, hey, you get this much money from making it, which I think they should have done. You get so much for winning your first round game. You get so much money for winning your second round game. You get so much for making it to the championship game. And you get so much for winning the championship. That's not there because there is no extra money. It is divided up before any game is ever played. It doesn't matter if the Big Ten or SEC wins the championship now. They're all guaranteed their $21 million each. You understand, as a group of 5 team could, let's say, Boise State just gets going and they're killing it. They're killing it. They go on, they start recruiting, they go on an Alabama type run. Not a Georgia run. I mean an Alabama run where, it's a decade of them winning championships every other year. It would take them 10 years to just equal what Georgia would get in 1 year's pay. It would take them a decade just to equal what Georgia or Michigan or Ohio State or Alabama, or God forbid, it would take them a decade to equal what Vanderbilt and Rutgers are getting. Vanderbilt and Rutgers are horrible. They're not,
No,
do they even play? I'm sorry. Everybody knows when you see Georgia about to go play Vanderbilt, do you even turn the TV on for that game?
I mean, I watch every Georgia game, but that's
okay. So you do,
but I know that it's not going to be like a big thing. I know it's not going to be.
Are you nervous at all?
No.
Because Vanderbilt's beating no one. They're good for 2 to 5 wins. 5 wins is like Vanderbilt is killing it this year. But they're going to make $21 million a year. I'm willing to make a wager with you right now, Faith. If you took Rutgers and Vanderbilt and took their total wins, it won't equal Georgia's wins this year. 2 schools will not, but they're going to be guaranteed $21 million. That's where I have a problem with this. I think this situation made it so that the Big Ten and SEC are just exponentially going to be known as the bigger franchise. From this point, there will be no way to compete. The Big Ten is almost 80 to 100 million. The SEC's like 70 to 80 million a year guaranteed already with their television contract. Plus they're guaranteed another $21 million on top of that. That's not ticket sales or apparel or advertising. That's just their television deal that they have. Their television deal, which goes for college football playoffs and the rights to their deal, everyone is going to make over $100 million. And the rest of these guys are going to be picking up scraps. In the world of the name, image, and likeness world, where you're paying players to come play for you, the balance of power has been tipped for good. It is no longer going to be competitive. Hey, Texas Tech got a really good quarterback. He's making $1 million a year. Well, guess what? Come on over to Georgia. We got some cheddar for you. And we're not talking about the kind you slice. You know what I mean? There are opportunities now for them, for the Big Ten, and what they've done is pretty much guarantee that supremacy for forever with this contract. Now, this isn't over, because one thing they haven't decided on is the playoff format. They needed to take care of this.
They haven't done that yet?
No. As a matter of fact, everything has changed on that one. They had a deadline. They had to get this television money taken care of before ESPN pulled their offer. So now they have the money. Now they have to decide. It was where there was a model where it was the Big Ten and SEC got 3 teams in, the ACC and the Big 12 got 2 teams in, and then the group of 5 could get people in as well. Well, that's what they've been kind of fighting over. And I kind of feel like the ACC and the Big 12 rolled over on the money to get what I'm predicting is going to be now, which is 5 automatic bids. The top 5, I don't think it's going to be guaranteed. Like, I don't know if they're going to have any guaranteed spots now, but the top 5 conference champions, and then the 9 at-large bids. That's what I think the model is going to be. I think they've negotiated and gave up a lot of money so that the Big Ten and SEC doesn't get like 3-4 people in with the first round buys being theirs and all that stuff. That looks like that part could be going away. At worst, I could see a model where the Big Ten and SEC gets 2 teams in, and the ACC and the Big 12 gets 1 team in automatically. Something like that. But no, we'll be talking about that probably this week.
Yeah.
And
I definitely don't see like how the format first came out. I don't see that being what it's going to be. Because I'm sorry, Big Ten and SEC, you can't be getting over $20 million per school and then expect automatic automatic stuff.
Would it surprise me if it ended up being all 5 conference champions get a bid, plus the Big Ten and the SEC gets 1 extra bid, automatically guaranteed? Wouldn't surprise me. And Faith, when you think about the fact that this whole Big Ten, this whole college football story It's finally coming to an end because they finally decided on money. Think about this. Now they have to figure out the format, right?
Yeah.
Florida State is still trying to get out of the ACC. Now there's talk of the Pac-2 or 12.
They're not 12.
They want to start poaching teams and create a basketball conference, football conference first. They want to go to like the Western Conference or something like that. They want to poach. The way it sounds like, I was just watching a thing and reading a thing on this. They want to grab the Gonzagas and all the top basketball teams, put together a basketball conference, and then actually take out a number of the Mountain West schools so that they can have this brand new conference that's strong in basketball, and then start rebuilding the football program as well. So the Pac-2 is starting, they're saying it could be started as early as June. This stuff could start happening. So only thing that's going to happen is they're going to figure out the college football playoff. That's going to fade away. Florida State's going to rear their ugly head, and they're going to try to figure out Clemson and what's going on with the ACC. And then the Pac-12 is going to start doing their thing. This is going on all the way till kickoff of the college football season. It is not going away.
Yeah. Well, I sincerely want to apologize to the
who are you apologizing
the
to?
Big 12 and the Group of 5. I mean, it's not my fault, but I feel bad for them, you know. Poor guys.
When you start thinking about the new library getting opened up on Georgia's campus out of nowhere, you'll know where some of that money came from. That television deal. I remember a couple years ago, Cincinnati was in the national championship game. Remember that? They played Georgia. They got dog walked, but that's 2 years ago.
When?
No, 3 years ago. Last year was Michigan and Washington. Then the year before that was Georgia and TCU.
The one before that was Alabama.
Cincinnati and someone. Cincinnati made it to the Final Four. But they're now, imagine that you make it to the Final Four teams in college football, and the absolute most money you can make is $1.8 million, while the other guy, is going to get 21 to 23 million. Plus, they already got an extra 80 to 100 million on the endorsement deal. Where is there going to be a balance at? There won't be a balance.
Yeah.
This thing is so lopsided that it has changed college football forever.
Well, let me tell you something.
Here,
my tuition better go down the amount of money that Georgia's getting.
Do you think that's going to happen? They got 100. We're not talking anything else. Just television contracts. They're $110 million.
Yeah, I shouldn't be charged as much as I'm being charged for right now.
Yes, tuition should be free for everybody in the Big Ten and SEC.
Absolutely. Yeah, with the amount of money that they're making, yes, I shouldn't have to pay to go to school.
They're cleaning up. They're cleaning up.
Yeah.
If you're Toledo or the University of Akron, man, they're getting nothing now.
Yeah.
They're getting some top ramen. That's about it. They don't even get they're getting so little money that they just get the ramen, but somebody took their seasoning packet. That's how bad.
It's just unflavored noodles.
They just got unflavored noodles. That's all they can afford. They can't even afford the seasoning packets now.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about LeBron James breaking the NBA scoring record. And it ranks as the top sports moment of 2023. So stick around.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the college football playoff expansion and revenue sharing deal that has been revealed. And now we're going to be discussing LeBron James breaking the NBA scoring record, ranks as the top sports moment of 2023. But I don't think I did this earlier, so I just wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. We get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. I normally do it before our second segment, but I don't think that I did, so I think I forgot.
Wow. You don't understand, guys. Faith is like a machine, and everything is mapped out. Everything on the show, everything in her life. Mm-hmm. It's like these dominoes, they're all set up, and she knocks one down at the time.
Yeah. My life is completely on my planner. If it's not on my planner, the answer's no, if you ask me.
Faith, you gotta sometimes let that hair down a little bit, you know?
I will when summer's here a little bit, because I'll have more free time. I don't have any free time right now.
Wow. Yeah, Faith runs a tight ship. I must admit there. So that's kind of interesting. Ship,
yeah.
Like
nothing gets past me.
Like I put in a ton of hours, mm-hmm. but I have wiggle room here and there. Faith is like from 8:05 to 8:15. We're doing this. From 8:15 to 8:45, we're doing this.
Yep.
I mean, every second is laid
and what's
out.
So funny, I'm still behind.
How can you be still behind
I'm still
when
behind
you got every
stuff.
second mapped out?
Because, like, after spring break with classes, everything, I feel like all the professors just huddle up in a group and they're like, let's make all of our stuff due all at the same time and stress all the students out. And so I have so many things due this week that are all due on the same day. And so I have to make sure that I get them all done this week. So.
Okay, here's a question before we dive into LeBron. Do you get the syllabus at the beginning of the year?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you have all your assignments that you know are due?
Yes, but they can change. Those due dates can change.
Do they change them?
Sometimes.
Very often? Sometimes? Because I was Captain Slacker. Not in a good way, though. I'm the guy that would get the syllabus and just do all the assignments for the whole year. We never covered any of it, but I'm gonna get. I want all those assignments taken care of. I'm gonna do them before I just dedicate the whole week or so to my assignments.
I like having good grades, so I like to know what that assignment entails before I do it.
You just do my own research, so then when it came around, it's like, here you go.
No.
Gotta head back to the fraternity house.
If I'm paying for an education, I'm going to be educated by the person that's supposed
That's
to
why
educate
you are such a good student. But yeah, I used to try to knock my assignments out in advance, and then you have them there. But as you're in your classes, you step back and it's like, oh, in light of new information, maybe I need to change this a little bit. I'll make a couple changes here and there. But that sucker is done. I like to get my stuff done and just ahead of time. That way.
Sometimes I'll get something done like 2 weeks before it's
I'm
due.
done. I'm done before this year even starts. just in case there's a party going on, I need to do a road trip or something like that. I could just drop my assignment off. Here you go, nerd. Here you go, teacher, Professor Becky. This isn't due for 2 weeks. I won't be back for at least 3.
See, I still am. I'm working on it. I used to be a huge procrastinator. Like last semester, I had a 10-page paper. I had a 10-page paper due last semester for one of my classes, and it was like a big, like, that was the end of the semester thing for us, was the 10-page research paper. And I put it off until like 4 days before it was due.
We are so opposite.
And then one day I was like hunched over on my computer writing. I wrote a 10-page paper in one day, and I made like a 96 on it.
Faith, I'm going to do that same 10-page paper maybe in a day, 2 days, but I'm doing it at the beginning of the year. I go into my cave, I'm knocking that sucker out. Then when it comes around, maybe I look over it one more time before it's time to turn it in, maybe some new information. But there's no pressure because I've already, Tate, are you going to be doing it? Want to get together and do the paper? Dude, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to the club this weekend.
Yeah, so even though I have my life planned out, I still have some procrastinating tendencies. So I think that's why I'm a little behind this week. But
is that why you're so regimented? Because you're so because you're a procrastinator?
I used to not use a planner, but then I started this, and I was like, I have to know, because I'll forget, because I have 3 things that I have to worry about now. I have school, I have work, and then I have this. So I'll forget if I have a shift this weekend if I don't put it on my planner now, just because I have so many things going on all at the same time. So
wow, yeah. I'm a to-do list guy where I'm like a soldier. I'm knocking this wall down. I'm getting rid of all my issues.
Yeah,
I want them done and behind me. I'm not wired to do this whole procrastination thing. I can't do it. I just want it done so I know it's done. This is why we're so opposites here. So anyway, we got a story to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so LeBron James breaking the NBA scoring record ranks as the top sports moment of 2023 at Los Angeles Sports Award. So, if you guys didn't know already, LeBron James became the first NBA player to reach 40,000 career points. And I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar held the record first with 38,000. I think somewhere around
yes,
there.
38. See, I had 38 in my head. I'm like instantly Kareem. Yeah.
Yeah. So the 19th annual Los Angeles Sports Award were recently held, and Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James was one of many athletes honored on the night. The LA Sports Award unveiled their top 10 sports moment of 2023, and LeBron James, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time leading scorer, was tied for top overall spot along with the El Segundo Little League's All-Stars, winning the Little League World Series over Curacao.
I don't know about that Little League
I don't either.
game.
I don't either. I didn't know Little League got
It's a nice story that Little League tied and everything, but I don't know about it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all.
So LeBron's moment took place last February as the Lakers took on the Oklahoma City Thunder. In the third quarter of the contest, James drove to the middle of the lane and hit a fadeaway jumper to set the new record of 38,000 388 points. Abdul-Jabbar had been the NBA's all-time leading scorer for 39 years, and many thought that mark would never be broken. LeBron has since pushed that record out even further, recently becoming the first NBA player to reach 40,000 career points when the Lakers took on the Denver Nuggets. By the time he retires from basketball, it is anyone's guess as to where that final number will stand. So,
okay,
good for you, LeBron.
I think it's to me, it's a no-brainer that it's the biggest moment of the year last year. And the reason why people don't realize how big Kareem is. Kareem was this unstoppable force. When Kareem broke the record, most people thought it would never be broken. That's the record that would never be broken. Jordan couldn't catch him. Kobe couldn't catch him. Karl Malone couldn't catch him. Go James Harden, just go right down the line. None of these guys can catch him. If Victor Wembanyama averaged 28 points a game, it would take him 20 years to catch where LeBron is at. He would have to play 70 games every year, 28 points a game for 20 years for Victor Wembanyama to catch LeBron in the numbers. What LeBron has done, people don't realize. 40,000 points was considered impossible. Kareem couldn't do it. Wilt couldn't do it. Jordan couldn't do it. Bird couldn't do it. Magic. None of the top scorers could ever get to 40,000. That's an untouchable number. And LeBron is like, no problem. LeBron is a pass first player with score first numbers. Take that in. He has scored more points in basketball than anyone has ever done in the history, more points than anyone had even ever thought was possible to do. And he's a pass first guy. They talk about, hey, in his later years, he's missed some games. Look at his stats. He's still doing amazing things. You realize Jordan was gone at this age. Bird was gone at this age. Look at these guys. Most of the greatest of all time were gone, or they were a shell of themselves. LeBron is still doing it right now and don't even know how long he's going to keep playing. Would it be crazy for the Lakers to offer LeBron a 3-year contract? Technically, traditionally, absolutely. You don't offer a 40-year-old man a 30-year contract or a 5-year contract or a 2-year contract. We're paying as we go, old man. No, not LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron is a special kind of guy. And so, you can pay LeBron and still expect that LeBron's going to still be a factor in the NBA this year, next year, the year after that, and possibly even the year after that. He has taken care of his body like no one else has. More people should study what LeBron has done to manage his health than any player in history, because it doesn't happen. And for most people, they don't realize the greatness that LeBron has reached. The greatness. What people don't realize, that they're seeing kind of like your grandparents. Oh, I remember when the moon landing, when they landed on the moon. The moon didn't land, but we landed on the moon.
I remember when the moon first landed.
These are major moments. The U.S. hockey team winning the gold medal. Well, people don't realize I remember when LeBron scored 40,000 points. That is not looked at enough because it's something no man has ever done.
Yeah.
And not sure if it's gonna be a long time before someone passes LeBron, especially if he plays 2 or 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why I think it was the moment of the year. And it is a very special moment in the history of sports. What LeBron James and Tom Brady has done are second to none. And it's quite amazing.
Do you see LeBron playing another 2 or 3 years?
Why not? I could see LeBron could easily play 3 more years. Would I be shocked if you told me that 43 or 44-year-old LeBron is still suiting it up, scoring, and if LeBron wanted to play as long as possible, and change his role, absolutely, I could see LeBron playing longer. And I can't see that for anyone else but LeBron.
Yeah.
You can't be living the life of some basketball players, doing some of the things that some of these players do, seeing how some players, I'll say it sometimes, like James Harden. No throwing shade at James Harden. But James Harden has been known to get out of shape sometime in the off season. Hitting the strip clubs, hitting the food hard, partying a lot. That's not LeBron. LeBron is a consummate professional, taking care of the mind, body, getting ready for the season, and it has really paid off. So
yeah, it has. I'm 22, and the thought of running around on a basketball court all day, it just
I did yesterday we do a walk around the town that we're in. And it's up hills and everything, and there's stairs down the cliffs and all this stuff. So we end up doing about 4 miles and hiking, going around the town. 4 miles will wear you out.
Yeah.
When you look at what some of these athletes can do, it's amazing. When you look at what LeBron can do, it's unreal.
It is unreal.
So
yeah,
he got I think they made the right decision.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the Little League team. I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
I may have to go and look that one up.
Props to you guys, though.
I have no clue who you are and what you did. So I wish you all the best. I'm going to go look it up just so I can say.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into our oddities of the day. So stick around. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about LeBron James breaking the NBA scoring record, ranks as top sports moment of 2023. And now, as always, towards the end of the show, we're going to be talking about our oddities of the day. We've got Wendy's again.
Oh, okay.
Something's going on with Wendy's.
Say, how are you going to talk about Wendy's when I just told you my stomach's over here? You can hear my stomach through the microphone over here talking.
This story was picked prior to that. So.
Wendy's, y'all need to send me some chicken nuggets, some spicy chicken nuggets.
Spicy chicken nuggets. Me too. I'll take some as well.
All right. With the nuggets, what's your dipping sauce?
Ranch.
Oh, no.
With the spicy chicken nuggets, yes, ranch.
I like honey.
Honey?
Yes.
Just plain honey?
Yes. Honey is, yes. The spicy with the sweet, don't knock it till you try it. Ranch is kind of like saying, hey, it's cold outside, put a sweater on. There's no imagination there.
Okay, come on. I grew up in the South. Ranch is like the dressing of the South. Ranch is.
Do you realize ranch is kind of like the nectar of the gods? Because in Europe, people do not have ranch. Ranch is not a thing here. So when people in Europe try it, they're all stunned. Like, ranch, what is this? What is this sauce?
Well, ranch is not hard to make for all you out of the United States.
I was like, what are you about to call them? Ranch is easy.
It's mayo, buttermilk, and then you just buy some ranch seasoning and then stir it up. That's all you got to do.
I don't even know if I've ever seen buttermilk here, to be honest with you.
Really? Well, you can also make your own buttermilk, too. I don't know how to do that, but...
It's not hard.
No.
But no,
okay.
ranch is delicious.
I love ranch.
I can't be disrespectful on that. Ranch.
I love ranch. I use ranch a little more than I probably should when I eat certain types of foods.
Are you a ranch and pizza guy?
Yes.
Girl?
Yes. Ranch and pizza. Whoever came up with that combination... They are a hero in my eyes.
I'm gonna give you something a little crazy, a little off the wall with that one. Pepperoni pizza, Thousand Island dressing.
I don't like Thousand Island.
Thousand Island dressing on pizza is just delicious. How do you not like Thousand Island?
Like, it's too rich in like a savory way. You know how people say like some desserts are too rich? Thousand Island is too rich for me in a savory way. It's so heavy in my opinion. I don't like Thousand Island.
And ranch isn't?
Nope.
And see, I'm not a ranch on wings. Ranch is okay on wings. I'm a blue cheese man. Always.
Ugh.
Always. Blue cheese with my come
Ooh.
on.
I don't use dressing at all when I eat my wings. I'll ask for ranch, but it'll just kind of sit there while I just eat the wings by themselves.
No, I'm dipping my wings in any kind of sauce they put out there. So, all right, let's get to, we got sidetrack on here. Let's hear about my Wendy's chicken nugs.
Okay, so Wendy's manager stole $20,000 after creating a ghost employee she clocked in and out for 128 shifts. A former Wendy's manager created a fake employee to pocket $20,000 in wages after clocking them in for 128 shifts, police have confirmed. Former Wendy's manager Linda Johnson, who invented a ghost employee called William Bright, clocked the fake employee in and out for shifts so she could pocket the wages. Johnson, who worked in Pennsylvania, has now been charged with theft by deception, according to the Manheim Township Police Department. The manager kept up the scheme for almost a year before being caught, according to reports. She began clocking in William Bright for shifts in June of 2021 until May of last year, when she was finally found out. During the investigation, employees said that they could never recall working with someone with that name. Then Johnson finally admitted to making the fake employee to cash in on the extra wages. Police confirmed that the paychecks were deposited into her Cash App account. After a criminal case was brought against Johnson, she then went missing and her whereabouts were unknown as police released an appeal to the public for any information regarding her whereabouts. Johnson's crime was posted to social media as people gave their opinion to her illegal methods. One person commented condemning the former manager. "I'm not gonna lie, this is smart as hell." You can't even be mad at her. 128 shifts without anyone noticing. This new employee is insane, LMAO. Someone else commented, "I respect the hustle." Others wonder if Johnson didn't have the help of other staffers, with one writing, "She wasn't doing it alone. She must have been sharing the benefits with other staffs." It was reported that the restaurant's insurer paid out a hefty $16,000 for the incident.
Okay, go ahead, Faith. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
I mean, it's wrong, but I get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how Faith goes to prison.
But I get it. I would never, I don't know. Maybe I would do it if I was really strapped for cash. Who knows? But, I mean, minimum wage is not a affordable paycheck to be living on. And yes, she's a manager, so she's probably making more than minimum wage, but it's probably $2 to $3 more than what minimum wage is. So, and even that you can't really live off of. I tried. I have tried to live off minimum wage, and it just, you can't. Not
can't do it.
Not with how rent has been lately, and inflation, and groceries being as expensive as they are, and gas being as expensive as it is, and buying clothes and shoes and all of that good stuff. Like, you can't live off of minimum wage. You just can't. So I get it. I get it. 128 shifts too. Good for you. Good for making it that long.
My first thing when I heard this, a few things popped in my head. The first one is William Bright works all night. He's just, he's taking all the late shifts.
Yeah.
That's ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not condoning what she did.
Not saying it's right.
This isn't like the gas card one where I'm like, no, she didn't break a law. This is illegal. But this is illegal.
Kind of the same thing, isn't it?
No, it's not. But this is like you're clocking them in. It's like, who cleaned up the bathroom? Oh, that was William Bright. Oh, you didn't see him? And she's just collecting the check. And at those restaurants, corporate never really, checks in.
Yeah. So
you could be like, I had 3 servers, or on the slow times, you're working at Wendy's, you're flipping a couple burgers here and there. You're supposed to have 5 people on the shift. You're running 4 because William Bright's, he's on the case.
William Bright is working hard.
Yes, he is. The thing about William Bright is he never calls off. He never takes a sick day.
He's always there.
He is
Star
Mr.
employee.
Dependable. Okay,
Employee
Faith.
of the month.
I am doing this from memory. So please, the details, don't hold me to this, people. But there was a story like this a few years ago, but a little different. A guy got hired at a company, and he was working at a company, and I don't know if he quit, he got fired, or he just decided, I'm no longer coming to work. But he was on the job working there for years. collecting a check and everything. And if I remember correctly, how he got busted is because he won like Employee of the Month or something like that. After hadn't been working there for years, they went to go give him his award. Nobody knew who he was. They started checking in on it. Turned out this dude had been working there for years. And that's how he ended up getting busted.
Whose fault is that really, though? That they're still sending a paycheck to somebody that either got quit or was fired. Whose fault is that really?
Okay. This one, that's a great question. Because the manager, she set up a fake account. This is a dude that went there. He worked there for a short period of time and just decided, I'm not going back. Yeah. Checks kept coming. He kept cashing.
Right.
If he's
not his fault.
That woman, she committed fraud. That is fraud, what she did.
Yes.
The dude they just kept sending them checks. Here's Faith. Here's your paycheck. Bam. Send it to you. Another one. Maybe it's even direct deposit, so you don't even have to take the money out. Is that theft? It's kind of like the guy that set the deposit slips on the bank and just wrote them out to his account. And like all these people just started depositing money into his account, thinking they just took the deposit slip off the bank thing and just wrote down the money and gave him the money. They deposit right into his account. Is that theft? Seriously. Is that the other person we already know, the Wendy's employee, you committed fraud. You going to jail, lady. But the dude that just because the guy that wrote down the deposit slips, he clearly wrote down his name and his account number. People just took it and wrote the deposit amount and gave him the money. So he did not commit fraud. And how he got off with it, I thought we covered this one. But when they took him to court and they went to arrest him, they were like, hey, he didn't fraud anyone. His name was on it, this and that. They chose to do this. So they tried to go after him for taxes, like tax evasion. And he had filed taxes on all that money. So he got all that money free. He covered all the books. He filed the taxes on it, everything. So the bank guy got off on it. He robbed the bank scot-free and never got in trouble for it. I think the guy that worked at the office, he got busted and got in trouble on that one.
I don't think he should have gotten in trouble for that. That's the company's fault. That's not that guy's fault.
You gotta find that story. You gotta find that story. I gotta. That actually happened. But yeah, he just until he won like Employee of the Month or something like that. That's when he got busted. And do you understand what kind of slackers he had to be working with? Number one, these losers didn't even realize that he stopped coming to work. Number two, their work was so bad around him that his non-work was good enough to win Employee of the Month. How bad was everybody else's work that he became Employee of the Month? Like, screw it. He's the only one that didn't screw up. Everybody else screwed up. Everybody else got negative scores. He got a 0. So, So he won. You understand what I mean? How bad work is going on in that organization that the guy that's not there end up winning an award. And that's how he gets busted.
Yeah. I mean, people learn how to cheat the system, and if they can get away with it, they,
Now, the bank guy and the Wendy's guy, they definitely cheated the system because you don't go to the bank and just drop off a stack of deposit slips over there and be like, Andrew Tate, here's my account number, here it is. Let's see how many of these jokers are like, oh, I gotta deposit my check. Here's my deposit. Oh, it's already filled out for me. Thank you. Here you go. I pick up a deposit slip and it says Faith on it. I need a new deposit slip. This got somebody else's name on it. This is not my account. You understand? Now, I could see how the Wendy's employee, because you don't even have to put nobody on the shift. You're the manager working it. You just punch them in and nobody's the wiser.
Yep.
You're going to the servers are serving, the burgers are being flipped, the place is being cleaned. There's just an extra person. So I could see her not getting caught at all. I mean, her hustle game was on point.
Yeah,
because that one's a hard one. That's a hard one to catch. She could have went on for years. There was
It's because somebody tattletaled on her. I would have been like, listen. Now, somebody from corporate's going to ask about this William Bright guy. I will give you this amount of money.
Not me. I'm too clean cut and proper talking. I can't go to prison. I am not good in prison.
I'll give you this much money if you say, yes, he works here.
Now, you can, that double tap gas card, I'll take that, but I ain't going to knowingly commit fraud because I don't want to be Bubba's prison cellmate. Nope, can't do it. I'm not committing fraud. And if you find a story that I'm in trouble, it's because I didn't know any better. I am not committing. I didn't do that stuff on purpose. Because I am way too proper talking for prison. Can't do it.
Oh, come on! You train for MMA. You can't.
Nope. I told you, Faith. I'm now 54. I can't even whoop you. I'm good. Listen. I can be held for about 30 seconds to a minute. Then I'm all out of shape. I'm winded. My back hurt. My neck and cricked up. Then I'm in trouble.
Well, normally you wouldn't have any issues, I don't think, with a white collar crime anyway. So it's more of the...
I'm not taking any chances. I'm not going no Shawshank Redemption for me. I picture everything like the Green Mile. Nope, I'm John Coffey. I don't need to be him.
That movie's so sad. That's so sad. I like that movie though. The only thing about that movie that really weirded me out was when he coughed up all those butterflies or moths or whatever it was.
I don't even remember that part.
I was like, what the heck?
No, I see. I've seen that movie once.
Oh.
Are you a person that watch movies multiple times?
Yeah. I like Tom Hanks.
Really? See, I like Tom Hanks. That's not a movie. That's one of those movies, those depressing movies. I don't need to watch them there.
Sometimes you just need a good cry, So you put on a movie that is going to make you cry, and then you get it all out, and you feel better afterwards.
I don't need a good cry then. I'm sorry.
Everyone needs a good cry every once in a while.
It's Tuesday and I need to watch Titanic. Come on.
Okay, see, I like Titanic and I've seen it a couple of times, but Titanic is too long to have that be my designated cry movie. My designated cry movie, The Notebook is one of them, because The Notebook at the end, oh my gosh, I bawl every time I watch The Notebook. And then The Fault in Our Stars is another one. And then I actually just saw My Best Friend's Wedding for the first time yesterday with Julia Roberts, and that one made me cry too. Oh my gosh, I cried yesterday.
I teared up on one movie in my entire life. Entire life. And it's the dumbest movie ever.
What is it? What movie?
Granted, okay, I was only 5. I was a little kid. Okay? So don't hold this. That was 50 years ago. I saw King Kong for the first time as a 5-year-old, and I cried at King Kong.
You cried.
Dead serious.
King Kong.
My theory was, as a young little Tate over here, that he was living in the jungle by himself. They captured him, brought him to New York.
Oh, and you were sad
against
about
his
that?
will, and then he
That's
tried
kind
to
of-
go. He had to break away and tried to go home, and they killed him.
That's kind of wholesome.
Do you see
that
it
You cried
as a 5-year-old?
That's honestly kind of wholesome.
That's the only movie I've ever
worried
cried
about
at
King
in my
Aw.
as a little boy because I was traumatized. I was like, leave him alone. He's hanging out on this little jungle island. He's all cool. He's chilling. He's
Oh,
eating. Gotta
Tate.
eat 800 bananas just to get a snack on, and then they're gonna capture his ass, tranquilize him, take him to New York, and then he's like, I want to go home, and then they use fighter jets to kill him. I was upset.
That's honestly
upset.
so wholesome.
I have not been upset in a movie since then. There ain't never been a movie that made me cry except for King Kong.
You know, I've never heard someone cry from King Kong, but
No one.
you know,
No. Do you understand
wholesome.
the thought? You got to think about it
Yeah.
as the thought process of a
get it.
5-year-old at the
Yeah.
time.
I understand. I get it.
This is the sweetest you've ever been to me, Faith, right here.
I get it.
This is that moment where it's like, yeah, it's okay. It's just good boy. Just move on.
I get it. I get it.
But how crazy. You know
Aw.
how shameful it is to admit that the only movie you have ever cried at on your entire existence is King Kong.
I can't really say anything because I cry a lot, so I'm a crier.
Oh no.
Like
Old
any
Yeller,
movie-
Lassie, all those.
Old Yeller bawled my eyes out. Marley and Me bawled my eyes out. Yeah, I'm a crier. I'm a big crier.
Nope, none of that. King Kong. Get a little soft spot right there. Little lump in my throat.
Anyway, we got a little off track, guys, but we're gonna
just a
you
smidgen.
learned something new about both of us, I guess.
The affinity for King Kong all of a sudden. This segment is just turned into the King Kong segment. I don't know why.
But guys, we're going to close out the show. Thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
King Kong for life.
Go home and watch King Kong. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't that